everyone, Jasper here from Regard, and we're back to a new Simpsons episode review. And this episode, oh boy, again, I know I said it before, and I definitely said it in the last one, but this is yet another favorite of mine. And it teaches a real good lesson. A real good, valuable lesson that is really good. So basically, it starts with Marjorie and Homer pretty much talking. And Homer says that he is 239 pounds. 239 pounds. Yeah. He says that he's a balloon, or hot air balloon. But Marjorie, of course, doesn't think so. And he decides to exercise every morning. Bart sees these spy cameras on an ad, which he breaks his own piggy bank, unlike Homer that broke his piggy bank, not blank, gets some money, puts it in the mailbox. We see that it's 6 months later. 6 months later. A text that says 6 months later. Bart's in the bathroom. He still sees that he's the same weight, and he says that he's a big whale. And he's going to a sex party. Yeah. At least that's how he describes it. With his fellow employers and stuff. Or his fellow friends. Bart finally gets, after 6 months later of getting his spy camera, which the mail lady and him start to argue, and it is so tiny though. It's so tiny, like he can only hold it, like it's so tiny, he can just hold it with 2 fingers. Which he starts to cause some chaos, which is really gonna bite him in the backside at the end of this. Which yeah, he starts to take pictures, like Homer doing his exercise, his own mother saving her armpits. She tells Bart to go and take some animal life, which he ends up taking a picture of a dead squirrel that was run over. Even about to take a picture of his own butt. Yeah, pulled down his pants and about to take a picture of his butt. And basically, Marjorie tells the kids that it's only the 4 of them, because Homer is, of course, at what he called it, his sex-like party. Again, what Homer described it as, or what it seems like Homer described it as. Which Homer and his fellow friends are drinking root beer while hearing about their children and stuff. And really nice. It's going really nice. For real. It's going really nice. And then Homer hears that there's going to be some entertainment. So they go to this restaurant. The kids and Marjorie go to this restaurant. They tell the waitress to go and try to make the other people quiet down. And we see Bart say pour on all of the, I guess, the menu. The waitress goes back, tells Homer and his friends to keep it down. Homer tells him to shut up, and then he just walks away with nothing to say, which was funny. And Bart changing the signs. And they eventually get their food, and Bart starts to feel sick because it's a squid. Yeah, he ordered a squid, which, yeah, he's feeling very pale looking. Which he goes to the bathroom. And then we see Homer's friends having these females, these women in their bikinis dancing. And Homer and his friends are like, this is one of the best parties that they ever had. And Homer actually gets up to one of these women and actually start dancing. Bart ends up coming out of the bathroom and sees his own dad dancing with this woman. He ends up taking a picture, and oh boy, he's definitely going to regret taking this picture. And it's going to make Homer really bad. But yeah, this scene right here is all red. Yeah, it's all red for some reason. I don't know why. But Bart is showing his fellow students the picture of his own dad dancing with this woman in her bikini. And they're wondering if they can get a picture of that. Which, saying no. Which one of his friends, he does when he sweared. Which he ends up breaking. And everybody starts printing out the picture. And oh boy, things are gonna go horrible. For real. Lots and lots of pictures come out. Even their own parents telling their kids to not do that. Even Homer's boss sees it, which he orders Homer to come up to his office. And then Marjorie and her Y, I guess, and her fellow friends see the picture of it, and Marjorie does not take it very well, obviously. She sees it and doesn't take it very well. So, Homer basically goes to the store, doing a lottery ticket, almost wins, but gets a cherry bomb. And everybody starts basically making onto Homer. Yeah, basically just from the photo. And oh boy, he eventually gets home, and Marjorie wants to kill him. That's not surprise. She wants to kill him. Well, she doesn't literally say she would want to kill him, but she's not happy that her own husband was dancing with a stranger, another woman, and she eventually grabs him by the throat and basically tells him to never come back home, and to go lay in the street or something. And she grabs his suitcase, eventually, and some tissues, which, yeah, basically kicks Homer out. I mean, it's pretty much Bart's fault. It is Bart's fault that his own dad got kicked out, right? Homer goes to get some drink, saying that he has nowhere to stay, so his friend lets him stay in his apartment. Marjorie calls, and when she finds out it's Homer, she ends up hanging up. Homer just not getting any sleep. The kids are wondering when their dad's gonna come home. Marjorie is just still angry. Homer, getting some coffee at the power plant, comes by at his boss's office, gets confronted by the picture, and is actually very pleased and happy with it, of course, to say the least. And just talking about some other stuff too. And Homer eventually does come home, but Marjorie is not wanting to talk to him, even when he says that he's sorry. And he is saying what he would need to do to make it up. And she tells Homer to take Bart, and so that to take Bart to show him that women are not just things, but actual people. So he does so, and he tries to find the girl that was in the photo with Homer, which they go to countless places, but she ends up not being there. Eventually, they try one more place, and they end up finding her, which they do apologize, and Bart does come to his senses, which Homer does start to fall, which the lady starts to kick his hand to try to make him fall. And Homer falls down and actually is recognized and starts getting cheered on. But he then realizes that he does a really touching speech about women, pretty much. And shows Bart the true meaning of them. And Marjorie comes back and reunites with her husband in a very touching display. And Bart is telling everybody to get out because, well, his parents are making out and they're not supposed to see that. So yeah, and that's how the episode ends. A really touching ending. And again, Bart doesn't really get as much of a consequence that he probably should have. It really seems like Bart doesn't really get much of a consequence. I mean, it seems like he would get more of a punishment. Yeah, he does sort of, I guess, get some sort of punishment. I mean, again, Marjorie should have been more angry, more focused angry at Bart than Homer. Because again, it wasn't Homer that, well, yeah, he was dancing, but it's not what it seemed, of course. It's not what it seemed that Bart made it out to be. So, yeah, it's really Bart that was to blame in this one. Or that could have gotten more consequences. But hey, like I said, a real great episode with a real great message thrown in as well. So yeah, let me know what y'all think. Catch y'all next one.